This really looks like a step over icon, and it says step over. I wonder why it's going through the assembly. Oh. So it looks like it hit an abort call. Ah, it didn't debug. No, it's aborting right now, and it just threw the exception. So we're actually much deeper in the stack. It just happened to happen where I put the debug break. I mean, in all fairness, that should happen. It should have hit my debug line first. It should have hit this and then entered into it on the next line. But maybe that happened when I stepped over. Yeah, that's what happened. So the value of buffer, can we still see it? M input buffers, can I evaluate that? Or is it too late? Okay, if you're not, show me an expression. How do I do expression? Ah, you bastard. Expression, where's expression? Here. Print M input buffers. Yeah, that works. Go back here. I print M input buffers I buffer. Okay, that's valid. It looks like it's been allocated before. Well, I don't set it to 0, so I don't know. Huh. Okay, let's take a look at where we're setting that buffer. So that should be something like buffer equal. Are we not... When we call add buffer, don't we do something? Yeah, inbuff buffer equals buffer. And we take the audio buffer. Well, what is this audio buffer? I guess that's the void star. So what was that called? We do request unused buffer. We fill it out here. That gets sent to add buffer here way after the fact. Anything tricky happen in the middle? Not really. I mean, we definitely don't delete it anywhere. We are 0, no, that's different. Yeah, yeah, we set it here. We add it here. And that takes us down here. If the ref count starts at 2 here, so this is where the ref count actually starts. And the buffer gets set here. Yeah, this looks fine. So it kind of seems like we're not removing it from the array. I mean, that's how it would get deleted twice. But this is the correct syntax to delete from the buffer. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Let's check for deletes and frees here. It's the only place frees and deletes happen in this file. And they don't happen at all in filter audio IO, and that's the only place that these buffers have been to if there's no objects being created. So if there's just no sound, there isn't enough activity in the mic, it'll just go straight to this after 4.5 seconds. Or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna take their advice up. So this is something you could do at least on the regular OS. But when you malloc, you can also debug by symbols. And when you trigger that malloc error, it calls this helpful debug stub. So before it was called, I can't remember. There was a much bigger debug area. Debug area. Activate console. Hide debug area. Yeah, for example, there was the expression thing that, see here I typed into print the GDB console. But before there was a GUI element for that. Debug. Activate breakpoints. There was also a big breakpoint thing, and I think that's where I set it. Where I said to debug by symbol. Okay, well I'm going to look at these variables really quickly. So here I is actually 0. You can see on the left side. Ref count is also 0. And analyzing is also 0. For the first one, still has a 1. So it looks like this is right at the point the first time it gets deleted. It throws an error because it seems like it's being deleted twice. Either that or the thing just isn't, the buffer was never initialized to begin with, was never allocated to begin with. So this is probably a pretty simple mistake that I'm just blind to see. This seems like a good chance to write a debugged article in on my website. So one thing I can do is check the pointer value for buffer. This is the same. Okay, this is very helpful. If you look at for both 1 and 0, they share the same buffer. So what probably happened is the iteration before something was properly deleted, but for some reason all of the input buffers share the same buffer, so they are all deleting the same thing. And I have no idea why they would be sharing the same buffer, but we're going to find that out right now. That was a close one, huh? Okay. So the way buffers get added to... I want to check all the uses of buffer really quickly. There's not so many. Yeah, there's not a lot. But if you just do single buffer, oh, you know what it is. I know what it is. I got it. Alright, check this out. This one would be a little tricky to catch. But here we do assign the buffer, and when we request in our callback, we request new buffer, and this indeed does malloc a new buffer for us. However, audio unit render is going to stomp on that and give us a new buffer of its own. It's just the same buffer it'll give every time. And I think that's just default behavior. So it'll fill this out for us. I'm not even sure if we need these parameters. It probably fills all that out too. But here's what we can do. In the audio setup, we just have to... There's a special audio... I think it's a... Is it an audio session? No, it's not audio session. It's might be audio unit property. Okay, we're just going to use some Google copy paste magic.